Good morning, welcome to Catex TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, March 23rd, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, go to Catex TV. American International Group AIG has won court approval of a settlement with investors who accused AIG at the beginning of the 2008 financial crisis of misleading them about risks tied to subprime mortgages. The settlement is about $971 million. The investors who are very happy with the settlement are claiming it's one of the biggest securities class action recoveries stemming from the 2008 financial crisis. AIG is going to have to pay $960 million. The accounting firm that monitored the company, PricewaterhouseCoopers, will pay $10.5 million. The attorneys for the plaintiffs secured federal approval of $116 million in fees for their part in the action. The much-discussed BlackRock ACE Insurance Company joint venture has come to pass. It's called ABR Reinsurance Capital Holdings. It filed in Bermuda. They're looking to raise between $800 million and $1.3 billion of capital. ABR Re is going to act as a reinsurance vehicle for ACE. It's going to allow ACE, which is one of the biggest cedants of insurance into the marketplace, to cede business directly into it as a sidecar. ACE, of course, is going to own a significant percentage of it. It seems that this is going to help ACE realize more profits from the business and underwrites by removing the need to reinsure it in the traditional markets. Naturally, ACE is going to save the amount of money they would normally pay on a commission for a brokerage regarding this. The business ceded by ACE to ABR will now effectively never make it into the traditional reinsurance market. This is only going to serve to put pressure on reinsurers already facing challenging premium prices. Most major primary insurers are actively looking at how they can leverage third-party capital, such as the capital being brought into the venture, and retain more profit from the risks they underwrite. ABR Re is likely to become a footprint for others to follow. Believe it or not, tropical Cyclone Nathan, which formed on March 10th, is going to hit Australia for the third time tomorrow. It's been hanging around Australia for nearly 2 weeks. It crossed the northeastern tip of the Northern Territory of Australia over the weekend, and then it mixed with very warm water from the Arafura Sea last night, which caused it to intensify in strength. It's still a gigantic rainmaker, dumping about 6 inches of rain wherever it goes. It's expected to batter Australia's top coast beginning tomorrow morning, and the city of Darwin lies in its path right now. Winds have significantly dropped off, but as I said, it's still a big rainmaker. In Berlin today is the new Greek Prime Minister, Alexis Tsipras. He's visiting Germany for the first time since becoming the Greek Prime Minister. He's meeting Angela Merkel today. The visit comes after Merkel and other EU leaders told him last week to come up with budget cuts and tax increases that would enable him to urgently get more bailout money. Merkel has downplayed the chances of Tsipras producing those measures when they meet, saying, quote, "It's not the place for any lists with proposed reforms to be submitted, that they must go to Greece's international debt inspectors, not to Germany." It's expected that Tsipras is going to try to bring up the discussion of obtaining World War II reparations from Germany. If that happens, it's going to be a very short meeting. Here's an interesting story. The chief meteorologist for China said that climate change could have, quote, "a huge impact on the country, reducing crop yields and harming the environment." Zhang Guogang told Xinhua that climate change could be a serious threat to big infrastructure projects in China. He said that temperature rises in China are already higher than global averages. He said that this could produce a growing risk of climate change and climate disasters in the country. These are rare admissions from a Chinese official. China's leaders have acknowledged the damage from global warming, but they don't usually lay out the full scale of the problems insofar as how they pertain to their own country. Last week, we reported that police in Paris had banned the open burning of trash and reduced speed limits by 12 miles per hour. Today, Parisian police have put a 24-hour emergency plan into effect to limit traffic after record levels of pollution in Paris. All cars with number plates that end with an even number are banned from using Paris roads today. They also have made public transportation free over the weekend, and that's continuing today. Smog levels are very high there. Well, it's an interesting story as well. There's only been about 24 recorded tornadoes this calendar year in the United States. Usually at this point there have been 100 or more. The United States appears to be in a tornado drought. No tornadoes have been reported so far in March, which is usually the time when tornado season begins its rampage. The last time the U.S. had no tornadoes in March was nearly 50 years ago, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Center. Every day that goes by is quite remarkable. We're normally seeing very active day-to-day weather somewhere in the country. Not only are we not seeing tornadoes, we're not seeing the supercell storm systems that spawn these tornadoes. This is perhaps one very small benefit of climate change. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.